talk about it. Here's a student from Canada that gets to his studies by airplane to avoid the rent. Tell me how this situation is good. Round trip is $150. He goes twice a week, so he spends about $1,200 a month versus $2,100 minimum for rent to live in the same city as his school. He takes a trip the same day, so he's literally taking an hour flight to school and an hour home after class twice a week.
The arts student flies twice a week from Calgary to Vancouver, saving big bucks on rent.
I need to pay like $2,500 for the rent. I don't feel that is viable.
He pays roughly $150 per round trip flight twice a week, about $1,200 per month total.
I assume this is an older video too. So I wonder what the rent is now.
That's half the average rent for a one-bedroom in the city.
I thought
as soon as I saw $2,100 for rent, I was like, there's no way that's still, this has got to be an old ass. Is this year? How the fuck are they finding rent for that price? It's kind of misleading because he only has one class a week, so that's why flying is cheaper.
Why don't I just stay at Calgary and then just fly here? 1 hour flight. That's
That's a half of a one bedroom. Yeah. He's leading. He openly says he has one class or he flies twice a week in this coverage. If we can watch the full thing. Oh, this is not from this past year. It's from February 7, 2024. This is recent.
How unaffordable Vancouver has become. A university student is commuting to his classes from Calgary. As Abigail Turner reports, the flights make financial sense in the region's out-of-control rental market.
Commuting to class looks different for Tim Chen, who doesn't board a bus, but a plane to get to university. The arts student flies twice a week from Calgary to Vancouver, saving big bucks on rent.
I need to pay like $2,500 for the rent. I don't feel that is viable.
He pays roughly $150 per round trip flight twice a week, about $1,200 per month total. That's half the average rent for a one bedroom in the city.
I thought, why don't I just stay at Calgary and then just fly here? 1 hour flight. That's same to taking a bus.
He had been renting in Vancouver for years, but gave up his unit to take a break from school. He returned to sticker shock.
When I checked the house price, I was like, oh, shoot, that was a big increase.
Vancouver continues to lead the way as Canada's most expensive city for renters, while finding a place to rent is even more difficult, with just a 0.9% vacancy rate. We've even seen UBC students living in vans when unable to afford rent.
This was the only financially viable option, as I couldn't afford a bag.
No, things are great, I think. Things are great in Canada, it seems. Also, what the fuck is jelly?
Bachelor suite of a kind by myself.
Chen plans to fly to UBC for his 2 classes until the end of the academic year when he graduates.
I got 3 hours of class in total. After the class, I jump back to the bus and go back to the airport.
Hey, Jake Weber. Thank you for the raid. Oh, speaking of Jake, I'm going to have Jake come over and emo me up possibly on Saturday. Shouts out to Frogan for giving me the idea. Yeah, I'm gonna have an emo makeover. Yeah. Collab of the year. Yeah, I'm gonna live my best emo self. A Jake-over of sorts. Yeah, hey, we're slowly making everyone emotional. What do you know about being emo? Absolutely nothing. Yep. At UC Santa Cruz, there are students that live in the forest. What the fuck? The emails are eating good finally, but we're all too geriatric to hear without our hearing aids. Yeah. Aren't you the guy who got roasted by the Penut video? What the fuck is Penut? I never had an emo phase, no. Here's an example in the United States of America. 21-year-old commutes to work by plane. 21-year-old flies 600 miles a week to avoid paying $3,500 a month New York rent. Here's how much she saves. Sofia Celentano's work commute starts in the middle of the night. Her alarm goes off at 3:30 a.m., reminding the 21-year-old that she has less than an hour to start driving to Charleston International Airport. Otherwise, she'll miss her flight for the office. Since early June, Celentano has commuted by plane once a week. Here's a good breakdown of what it's like to be emo. Okay.
Dear Diary.
We'll do this in a second. Hold on.
Reports.
A routine that he says gives him plenty of time to focus on his studies from the air. Abigail Turner, CTV News, Vancouver.
Anyway, I don't know. How can we fix this problem? There probably is no way to fix it, right? There's no way to fix the housing crisis, I don't think. What is this? Say what you want about emos, but it was probably the last popular teenage subculture for a very long time that was entirely white and straight coded. Millennials, I don't understand Gen Z aesthetics. Millennials in 2006. Anyway, every single thing that we're talking about here in terms of housing becoming unaffordable and becoming a crisis and then creating massive amounts of homelessness is a direct consequence of utilizing housing as a speculative asset. That's it. Anyway.